Dillian the Body Snatcher White here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Now, this is the kind of statement that I like to hear. And it comes from Dillian Whyte, and he spoke to Sky Sports. You guys can go over to Sky Sports Boxing YouTube page and catch the interview with Dillian Whyte, or you can read the article in the description box. So Dillian Whyte, he said that he's trying to fight Dominic Breazeale because he's sick of Deontay Wilder hiding from him, and he wants to force that fight. And this is what Dillian Whyte said: "I'm trying to fight a certain Dominic Breazeale because he's the mandatory, even though I'm the #1 challenger," which doesn't make sense. So if I can get him in the ring and dust up with him and beat him, then I will become the mandatory, and Deontay Wilder will have to stop hiding from me eventually, but we'll see. So that is Dillian Whyte's statement. Now, he does go on about other ones like Povetkin and Luis Ortiz and that, of course. But for me and for many of you guys, as much as Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Breazeale is probably not the bigger fight out of Povetkin and Ortiz, it's the most sensible one. It's the most logical one. It's the one that gets Dillian Whyte in a position where he can fight the winner of Wilder versus Fury. Hopefully, Tyson Fury wins that rematch. But of course, we're still waiting for official confirmation of it, which I would fully expect in the next day or so. So let's just say, as an example, and I said I hope it doesn't happen, I hope Tyson Fury wins, but let's just say that Deontay Wilder beats Tyson Fury. Dillian Whyte beats Dominic Breazeale. Then Wilder has no choice but to fight Dillian Whyte next. There's no step aside, there's no nothing. The only way he can get out of it is by fighting Joshua. Would Eddie Hearn allow Wilder versus Joshua next when there's an opportunity for Dillian Whyte? No, definitely not. Why? Because if Dillian Whyte fights Deontay Wilder and beats Deontay Wilder, then Dillian Whyte versus Anthony Joshua for undisputed, 2 Brits, Wembley Stadium, all that kind of good stuff. So it's a very, very brave move for Dillian Whyte when he could just go straight after Joshua. I mean, he could do that, take terms that he's not happy with, but going after Wilder and fighting Joshua for undisputed is the perfect scenario. I've been speaking about it for a long time. You guys have as well as. So if Deontay Wilder is forced into a fight with Dillian Whyte, he'll probably vacate, to be fair, because I do believe that he's frightened to death of Dillian Whyte. That's just my opinion. And history shows that. I mean, he turned down a guaranteed $8 million to fight Dillian Whyte. He turned it down and then went and fought Luis Ortiz for $2.1 million. Makes 0 sense, right? As Dillian Whyte is the easier fight, as most people say, right? Makes 0 sense. And he also sent Dillian Whyte a DM, a direct message, saying how he's going to freeze him out for 2 years. In fact, Wilder has this little thing of freezing people out for 2 years. He said this to Dillian Whyte in text message, and of course he's recently said how he wants to freeze out Anthony Joshua for the next 2 years. What is it about Wilder in the next 2 years freezing people out? Not that it really makes too much difference because he's been doing it for 10 years, so what's 2 more, right? But anyway, if Dillian Whyte gets that mandatory position, Wilder can no longer avoid him. Cannot. And I've been saying for a long, long time that I think that Dillian Whyte will walk through Deontay Wilder. Easy work. Easy work. And he'll catch him with a shot that Deontay Wilder will just go down and won't get up from. Listen, it's dangerous, of course. Wilder always has that puncher's chance against anybody. But I do believe that Dillian Whyte is all wrong for Wilder. Wilder knows it. Wilder's team know it as well. And Dillian Whyte knows it. He's very, very confident of beating him. So him fighting Breazeale is the ideal situation. I still have this feeling, and I do hope that I'm wrong, that we're going to see Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin, because Eddie Hearn has already promised Povetkin a fight around this time. It's supposed to be on the Joshua undercard. Against who? Don't know. Ideally, Povetkin versus Ortiz, right? That would be great. Or a Povetkin versus Joseph Parker. That would be great. But I believe that Eddie Hearn will try and push Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin and won't make too much of an effort with Breazeale. He'll make out that he did make an effort, but really he didn't. That's just my thoughts on it. I don't know if it's true. Of course not. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. Of course, Eddie Hearn did say that he hasn't had too much contact with Breazeale just yet because he's trying to iron out the Joshua fight, which is fair enough in some ways, but in other ways, Joshua versus Miller is about 6-7 weeks after Dillian Whyte's supposed to fight, so shouldn't Dillian Whyte really be the priority right now? Again, that's just my thought. Anyway, drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.